Hello everyone, Vic here. Firstly, this video will feel different. I'll be mainly talking about two topics, and I won't be like reading off a script or anything. It's just my thoughts and how my first hand of these events were. The events I'm talking about is the OpenAI with the new ChatGPT and the Google I/O. So those are the two topics that I just want to talk about today, just the whole vibe of it. So let's jump into it, shall we? So let's talk about the OpenAI. The first thing, we'll just talk about the name, which is ChatGPT 4.0. It just doesn't look good. When you look at it, it doesn't look good. They say the O is for Omni. They say the Omni is because of the multimodal model, so that's why they said it's Omni. And I was just listening to the voice, the speech pattern of the AI, and it's really became more interactive now, and you can talk to it as normal as you talk to a person now. Even from the translation to the person to person to the AI to AI communication, it just sounds good. One of the demonstrations they had was when the AI had to read the face of the emotions of the person.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to show you a selfie of what I look like, and then I'd like you to try to see what emotions I'm feeling based on how I'm looking.
Sounds like a fun challenge. Go ahead and show me that selfie, and I'll put my emotional detective hat on.
Okay, so here's me. So what kind of emotions do you think I'm feeling?
It seems like I'm looking at a picture of a wooden surface.
Oh, you know what? That was the thing I sent you before. Don't worry, I'm not actually a table. Okay, so take another look.
That makes more sense. There we go. It looks like you're feeling pretty happy and cheerful, with a big smile and maybe even a touch of excitement. Whatever's going on, it seems like you're in a great mood.
And it was able to do that, but there was something that happened. It was interrupted because the previous photo was a wooden table photo. So when that happened, they had to tell it, no, that wasn't me, that was the photo before, which was a table. And the way it actually interprets that was what I found fascinating. It corrected itself from the previous thought process. Like, if you had a dot, normal AIs, if they have like a dot, let's say dot, if it had a dot, it will carry on that dot process and not correct itself from that dot process. With this new AI, I found it can actually be interrupted and it can correct itself most of the time. But it's the interruptions as well that was a bit, sometimes I watched the video, I watched the presentation, and I found that some of the interruptions, yes, they were not nice, because what happened, the AI, like what all AIs do, they tell you unnecessary information more than what you just asked. Because every time you ask it, it will just go over the normal range of the answer. So it was interrupted most of the time. It's on their channel on YouTube, OpenAI. Please check it. They have videos of the demonstrations they did. The short videos, not the long live videos, but you'll see the short videos of the demonstrations. That one will just show you how far OpenAI is. So, as I said, the AI to AI video.
Sounds like we're in for an intriguing interaction. I'm curious about the lighting you mentioned. Could you describe it a bit more? Is it natural light, or are we talking unique fixtures or colors that add to the atmosphere?
The lighting here seems to be a mix of natural and artificial. There's a noticeable bright light overhead, probably a fixture, casting a focused beam downwards, which creates a spotlight effect. This adds a dramatic and modern feel to the scene. The rest of the room is lit more softly, possibly by natural light filtering
Did
in
anything
light sources.
unusual happen recently?
Yes, actually. Just as you asked, another person came into view behind the first person. They playfully made bunny ears behind the first person's head and then quickly left the frame. It added a lighthearted and unexpected moment to the scene.
Was impressive mainly because I saw there were two things that I was impressed about. Firstly, the first one was when the guy who was who was mediating between the AIs had another person come into frame, and the person went out. The AIs were still talking, but when the mediator asked later on what happened in that time period, the AIs were able to interpret that someone else walked into the frame and did whatever they did, and then they walked out. That part is amazing, meaning that it is storing every frame that you are in and can still go back and take information from each frame that was taken during that time. That is just amazing, one of the things. And as I said, the main one was the human emotion one, reading the emotions of the individual. That was good. So on the voice part, most people are saying it's Scarlett Johansson, but I don't know who it is. But it does sound great. The voice does sound great. It interprets things well, and it's more communicative. Like it's more humanized. Like you can, like the more, just understand. This is the worst AI will be and could ever be. So the more we can't tell the line between a human and an AI, that shows that we're moving forward, because those lines are getting blurrier and blurrier. So that is the good thing about what happened. So those are my thoughts on the OpenAI ChatGPT 4.0. I still can't find a way to say it properly, 4.0. But yes, those are my thoughts on it. So what are your thoughts on it? Please write it on the comments below. Now moving on to Google I/O. Google I/O is a bit different than the ChatGPT I talked about earlier. Google I/O it's mainly to add AI on the search engine, which means it's gonna have an AI generated answers on the online queries and other things, but it's mainly focused on the search engine. So there's not much to say about Google I/O. Actually, I wasn't even going to focus on it the most, but because it happened, there are things that happened that were big on it. There are features such as on the AI which are called AI overviews. They're saying you can ask whatever to just help you with brainstorming and overview on their browser. The main problem with this one, it's centralized around Google framework. So those are the structural differences from this AI. But they did say that they found that with the AI overview, people are more satisfied with the results they get, because of course now you have a live query, you can actually get information and stuff. Have you tried those queries online on websites? Just trying to get one answer for one thing, like something very simple. but you either don't get the message in time, or when you get the message, it's the wrong answer, because now either it's a response that was made for that specific query, or the person that's answering it is not answering it the way you wanted to get the answer. So I think with the AI overview, honestly, it will give you a more advanced answer and more broad answer than the one you will get from those pop-ups and bad queries, if I say so. The Google I/O is just mainly for the search browser and the framework around Google. That's all I have to say for it, and you can check it out as well. They had the event this week. You can just look at the event and you will see the updates. What are your thoughts on the Google I/O? So what are your thoughts on the topics this week? So I know it was only 2 topics and they might not have been broad enough, but it is just my thoughts and opinions on these 2 events side by side. And where are we with AI now, and how do you feel the way forward for AI? I know there are other parts of AI like web picture generation and other adults things where AI is being used, like the girlfriend AI and all the others where they have been used recently. My question to you guys is, what are your thoughts on it? Where do you want to see AI? What change do you want to see in AI? And do you think this is the right direction we are going in? If you like my content, please subscribe, click that like button. Anyway, keep on grinding and level up.